Hello and good evening. I am Tushar Kandwal and I will be presenting the final project on big data case study in social media. Before we need to know what is social media. Social media is a means by which people interact, share information and ideas. It is also a platform where people express their opinions, their knowledge, and it can also be a platform to connect to friends, family and acquaintances all over the world. With the advent of internet, the world has become a global village and everybody all across the world is connected to each other. Here are some interesting facts about the user base of all the social networking websites. So Facebook has 982 million users, Twitter has 465 active million users, LinkedIn has 200 million users as of today. To put things in perspective, the population of the world is 8.4 billion. So Facebook has nearly 12% of the population of the world logged into its systems with their information. Like I said, Facebook leads the social media market with 24%. It is ahead of email and Twitter. Twitter competes closely with email in terms of social media. It is again followed by small players like Yahoo Bookworks, MySpace, Delicious, Dig, etc. Google Plus and LinkedIn are another players who are coming big into the social media market. Some facts about Facebook. It is the most visited website after Google. 20% of all the page views are on Facebook. There are 250 million photos that are uploaded daily. There are 2.7 billion likes every day. 37 million pages are added to Facebook every day with 10 plus likes. 425 million mobile users are active on Facebook. And the male to female ratio for Facebook users is 43 to 57. And on an average, a Facebook user spends 20 minutes of his day per visit. Next up is Twitter. There are 1 million accounts that are added to Twitter every day. It is one of the bigger social networking websites with over 465 million accounts. 107.7 million users are in the US alone, which is the biggest user base of Twitter, followed by Brazil and Japan. India has 13 million users and Mexico has 11 million users. The busiest event in Twitter's history is now Castle in the Sky TV screening with 25,088 tweets per second. The previous record was the last minutes of the 2012 Super Bowl with 10,245 tweets. LinkedIn is one of the more sophisticated website, which is the 36th most visited website in the world. It is basically used for corporate hiring solution. 75 of the top Fortune 100 companies use it for recruiting. The average age of the users on LinkedIn is 38. And for some facts, more than 22 million Americans use social networks to find their most recent job opportunity, and 1 in 6 gets hired successfully through social networking. Google Plus was launched in the last 2 years, and it was launched on 28th of June 2011, and it reached 10 million users, I'm sorry, by July 14th, 2011. So within less than a month, 10 million users were added, and it gained 625,000 users every day. Some facts about Google Plus are that its plus one button is served more than 5 billion times per day. And in December 2011, like I said, there are 625,000 new users a day. And in under a day, the iPhone app for Google Plus became the most popular free app on the App Store. Uh, Even as of today, China and Iran block access to Google Plus, and they have content dispute going on with them. So let us look at the business potential of social media. Businesses can harness the power of social media. Since like we said, that 12% of the world's population is on Facebook, and Facebook is having the customer information or the private or protected information of these users. So that is something that the businesses can definitely harness. The very first thing that any business would like to do is to attract prospective customers by creating awareness of their products and services. Uh, a very good example of that is Charles Schwab, which is a financial planning company. They have their very own page on Facebook, and any user who likes them will get to see the status updates. So if I want to invest into the stock market or the bond market, Charles Schwab would be a very good opportunity to see what exactly is coming up, and they regularly post out or send broadcast of their upcoming webinars or any of the other advices or financial information that is useful to the users. The second step in tapping the business potential on social media is to convert the prospects by gaining their trust. So here is an example of Mayo Clinic who had posted a testimonial from one of their patients who had had an artificial heart. This just goes on to show that the success that they have had in their field, and it basically gains the trust of the user, and it is likely that the word of mouth about such success stories would go on, and people will recommend Mayo Clinic to each other and their friends. The other aspect of social media is to keep the existing customers. The existing customers can get happy by listening to their grievances. There are many Facebook pages which actually encourage users to send in their grievances or their complaints, and companies are actually using that to get to the depth of the issues that the users face on a daily basis. The case study that I would like to discuss today is that of uh, iOS. Uh, so, if Apple wanted to know what their advertising spend on iPhones should be for the next quarter, they would need to know how many users are actually using uh, iPhone as of today. And the best place to know how many users are actually using it would be the platform which has 12% of the world's population, Facebook. So, we would get a representative information about the population based on the users that are logged into Facebook via iPhone, and then we can compare those numbers against Android, BlackBerry, and mobile users. The methodology that I used for this was um, going to google.com/trends to get the keywords that are trending and use that keywords and graph API of Facebook to get the JSON. So, for example, Jody Arise would have a URL as follows. The Jody Arise would be the keyword, and then you enter the keyword into the URL http graph.facebook.com/search, and then after Q, we give whatever the keyword is, and we give a limit as an obnoxiously high number just so that everything comes into one page and we don't have to navigate through multiple pages through pagination. And the object type is given as status. We did this because we wanted to limit our working model to only status updates and not pictures or forwards or shares or likes that people have on Facebook. So the output in JSON will have an application node which is containing the device name. So like how we see out here, the application node is having three nodes under it, that is name, namespace, and ID. The namespace FB Android basically tells us that this particular device is using Facebook for Android. Similarly, for iPhone, this will be given as FB iPhone. For BlackBerry, it will say BlackBerry. For mobile users, other than these three platforms, it will just say mobile. And if a user is logged in to their computer or the PC, it will basically say others. Uh, so there are a couple of assumptions in this analysis. Since Graph API can only retrieve public data, we are assuming that all the Facebook users have their post public, which is a pretty big assumption, but that is what we are going to be doing because we cannot access the private status updates of people. And the other limitation is that Graph API captures the device type only if the Facebook app is installed on the device. So Graph API would not be able to get the device type if a user is logged into Facebook via the browser on their phone. So it has to be the Facebook app that was installed. Here is a sample output of one of the keywords that we used, Jodi Arias. So this is basically telling us all, it's basically giving us the data for all the status updates that went having Jodi Arias in it. So here are the results of the top three trending words. The top three trending words that we used was Jodi Arias, Mayweather versus Guerrero fight, Iron Man 3. So based on this, it is a very representative information. So based on this, we see that the user share of iPhone versus Android is pretty close. iPhone has 178 out of the 1,292 total status updates, uh, and Android has 215 out of the 1,292. So put to put this in perspective, Apple has 14% of the market share in the Facebook market, and they follow the Android market share of 17%. So even at this point of time, 56% of the users are actually logged in from the computers. So to conclude, based on this analysis, we can say that Apple can definitely gain market share by either pre-installing Facebook on their phones or entering a co-branding agreement with Facebook, wherein Facebook will be giving out ads on their pages to promote Apple, or Apple can have Facebook on their websites, which will be promoting both the brands. So this kind of co-branding would be symbiotic to both Facebook and Apple in the long term. Uh, I'd like to open the floor to questions. Thank you.